Micro marketing objectives are the next natural progression after setting up your high-level marketing objectives. Today's episode is going to be mostly hands-on. I'm planning to walk you through the different aspects of building a micro marketing plan and what are the best ways to execute and monitor this plan. See you in a bit. In our previous episode, we listed some of the most used macro objectives in marketing. Today, I have decided to take one macro goal and break it down for you into micro goals. We're going to list down what you need to consider while building a solid marketing plan. What I'll teach you today can be used as your blueprint for any marketing objective. For the sake of this episode, I'm going to take the lead generation macro objective as our example. Let's get started. If you're planning to succeed in marketing, then you must, I stress the word must, follow these most important points to ensure that your plan is not only defined, but also executed and optimized. Number 1, break down your macro objective into several micro small objectives, also known as SMART goals. We've talked about SMART objectives in a previous episode from a business point of view. And if you want a refresher, you can click the link here and watch the video again. The idea here is to write statements that describe your goal in a specific, measurable, and achievable way. For today's example, I'm going to imagine that we operate an online store which sells drones. The macro objective of our plan is lead generation. So the first step is to break it down into 2 micro objectives. The first micro objective can be to generate 10,000 new leads from our latest Drone 2021 white paper between January and March 2021. The second micro objective is to generate 20,000 new leads from blog articles written in Q1 of 2021. As you can see, these 2 micro objectives are perfect. They are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-specific. The beauty of such objectives is that you can use them to communicate with both your executives and the company, and also your team members, effectively. Number 2. Come up with the goal indicator for each of your micro objectives. This means you need to define what you'll be measuring to reach your outcome. These key performance indicators are known as KPI. For both our micro objectives, we're going to use the number of leads as our KPI. Number 3, define your strategy for each of your micro objectives. This means you need to explain in a short sentence how you plan to reach the outcome of each of your micro objectives. For our white paper objective, the strategy could be build a new section on the site to promote and list our upcoming white papers. For the blog post objective, the strategy could be optimize site content to be found in search engines by potential prospects. Number 4, list out the tactics your team needs to use to implement the strategy. For our white paper objective, the tactic could be offer drone trends white papers on our website. For the blog objective, the tactic could be blog 3 times a week. Number 5, write down additional metrics that you'll be using to measure the success of the tactic used. For the white paper, it could be something like the number of downloads, resulting in a new lead. And for the blog objective, this could be the traffic to the website in general. Remember, these metrics are not your KPIs. They are values that will give you some benchmark in regards to how your tactic is performing. Number 6, write down the preconditions. What is needed to start this process? In the white paper example, an installation of an Adobe InDesign or a new marketing automation software is a precondition. Without these software, you can't start the process. In case of the blog objective, a content editor And a team to support the blog article build is our precondition. Number 7, what are the major landmarks in this process? This is what's known as milestones. For the white paper objective, I'm going to choose research content for white paper completed. For the blog, I'm going to say content editor hired. Number 8, target dates of milestones. You simply need to set the date of when you're planning to reach your objective. This will help you communicate effectively with your team members on what needs to be done and by when. For the white paper objective, I want to complete my research for the white paper content by November 1st, 2020. For the blog objective, I want to make sure I hire a new content editor by December 1st, 2020. Number 9, define the tools of execution. For our white paper objective, we're going to use Adobe InDesign to design and produce our downloadable PDFs. And we're going to use our WordPress content management system to push our content. For the blog objective, we're going to use WordPress CRM to publish blog content. Number 10, define tools of measurement and tracking. For our white paper objective, we're planning to use Marketo to track the number of leads added, in addition to using Google Analytics to track the number of views to our white paper landing pages. Similarly, for our blog posts, we use Google Analytics to track the number of page views to our blog posts. There you have it, 10 points to consider while building your marketing plan. Now, let's consider what needs to be done after the planning phase. This is what I like to refer to as the post-planning phase. Number 1, execute tactics and track progress. After you deploy the tactics you've planned according to their dates and milestones, you can start to track your progress using the tools defined in our earlier step. Number 2, share and discuss progress. Share the results with your stakeholders and with your team. Make your reports easy and accessible to anyone and everyone in your team. This will reinforce the progress your department is making toward the goals and help your team prioritize tasks. Don't just share. Make sure you meet in person or via conferencing calls to reflect on results every time the milestone is met. Encourage your team to report obstacles and setbacks quickly. This will help your team stay on track and keep their spirits high. All this will help you move naturally towards the next step. Number 3, fix problems and optimize. Be open to making adjustments to your plan if something is not well or not giving the expected results. Be open to making corrective changes. Every month or two, identify ways to improve any aspect of the plan which is failing. Number 4, research and test. What works today may not work tomorrow, so be ready to try out new tactics. For that to work, you need to encourage research and education within your team members. Ask them to stay on the lookout for new trends and to be open to learning new techniques. As a marketing leader, you need to ensure and include these tactics in your marketing plan as tests, and you need to be ready to test them with your team members. This concludes today's episode. By now, I think you should have enough knowledge to start building a solid digital marketing plan. You have the blueprint, so why not use it? By the way, if you want a copy of this Google Sheet blueprint, you can create a free account with Danny.net and you will get immediate access to this template and a lot of other templates in the future. Our next episode will be dedicated to key performance indicators or KPIs. I will reveal the best KPIs to use against some of the most popular marketing objectives, so don't miss it out. That's it for today. See you next week.